know we are still in a kind of isolation, but things are looking up and it seems that we're gonna go back to more or less normal very soon. But dancing is gonna be one of the last things to come back into our social life. So I have decided to make top 5 tips on how to dance with beginners, because I'm thinking when we go back to dancing, there's going to be so many people who want to come back to dancing. There's going to be so many new people coming in the scene, and wouldn't it be amazing if all of us would know the right etiquette, how to dance with beginners? Because to be honest, our dancing experience been slowed down, and we really need, as soon as we come back to dancing, to actually go with the 5th gear forward and make sure that the beginners who do come to our scene, they are there to stay and they are really looked after by all of us. So subscribe to my channel, and then I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to dance with beginners. Tip number 1, always start with basic steps. Start nice and gentle. A lot of dancers, they get overexcited, they like the song, they ask a beginner to dance, and they can tell that they can't pick up those complicated moves, but they still keep on trying. Stop trying. When you get a beginner in your hands, you want them not to freak out, is the opposite. You want them to feel more confident, and you want them to feel like they can do it. So always when you're dancing with beginners, try to make your steps really basic. Remember the times when you were a beginner and what kind of steps you've learned in beginners class. Try to do the steps you know they already tried in the class before, and try to make it nice and easy for them so that they would actually be able to dance and feel like, oh my God, I did learn something, I'm sure I can do this, rather than, no, I can't do this, and never come back. Tip number 2, you can always raise beginner's level 1 level, maybe 1.5, but you cannot raise a beginner's level 2 or 3 times higher. So when you start nice and easy with the basic steps that they already know, if you feel like they're doing so well and you want to try and slightly challenge them and make it more interesting for you, you can do that. So you can try and raise it just like a little bit higher, but you cannot raise it 2 or 3 levels up. It is impossible. It's a suicide mission. Do not do it. 1 level and that's it. That's enough. They're gonna be challenged. You're gonna have a little bit more fun, and that is enough. Tip number 3, one of the most important tips you're gonna hear: make sure you smile. You look like enjoying it so that they would actually have a good time. Keep an eye contact, not staring completely like, but, now and then glancing at them, catching their eyes, making them feel comfortable, like you actually dancing with them. Smiling helps them to relax, and if you smile and you now and then keep an eye contact, they feel like you are enjoying it. And if they feel like you are enjoying it, then they will feel like they're not as bad as they know they are. They're just starting, they are aware of lack of the skill that they have. But if you look like you're having a good time, it definitely makes them feel so much better about themselves, and they're more likely to come back and more likely to join the classes and try and learn more things. You don't want to put them off. If you're having a horrible time dancing with them, I would require still smile. Fake it until you make it. I mean, unless they're being rude to you, they have a specific smell, or like they saying some horrible things to you, then the only reason you might not enjoy it is because they're bad at it. But they are beginners. They're supposed to be tragic in the beginning, but then so many of them persevere and become amazing dancers. So we don't want you and your bad face and your bad karma Do not make that person come back because he might be the future Editores or the future Giselle, you know? Don't do it. Smile unless, you know, as I say, there's exceptions. But if there's no like bad things happening to you, you should smile even if you know having a good time. Fake it until you make it. Tip number 4, don't be afraid to play around. So if you are a follower and you're dancing with a beginner male, don't be afraid to do some cheeky styling moves. They'll be slightly confused, but you know, you will laugh and you will seem like you're actually interacting with them. And you know, don't do anything too crazy, but as long as they can still lead you and you do something cheeky, it's so nice for them because they will feel like they are worth your time to do something like that. And it's the same if you're leading a beginner follower. Then it's also so nice to mess about with the music. Maybe stop suddenly if the music stops and start again. Catch their attention. They'll be like recognizing that something is happening, like you're playing around with them. So it will make them feel, first of all, they will understand that dancing is not just 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, it's so much more. So immediately you are training them for the future. So don't be afraid to mess about, play around, don't do complicated moves, but you can mess about so many different ways rather than doing a complicated turn pattern. So be brave, play around with your partner, and the beginners will really appreciate that. Tip number 5, final tip. When you finish the dance with the beginner, always say thank you. And if they are like really just absolute beginners and you are a leader, it's different for a follower. But if you are a leader, it would be nice if you actually take the follower back to the place where you take them. Because if you just leave them on a dance floor, it's their first night in the club or something, they feel like they're left in the middle of the dance floor, so they have to find their own way back to the corner where they came from. So it's a nice thing if you say thank you and you take them back. It kind of, you're extending that courtesy, and it shows, it's kind of like a gentleman thing to do. Even if you're a woman leading, it's a nice thing to do. The other thing is that now is probably not a good idea. I would say hug. But now let's not hug for a while. Let's just make sure we are even allowed to dance. So avoid hugging for now. But you can definitely take them back to the place. And also, why don't you ask a friend to dance with them as well? So if you have some friends around and you're more experienced dancer and you know some people, just tell them to go and dance, you know, and dance with beginners. Some people just, you know, they get lost in a moment, they're dancing with their friends, they're dancing with the cool people, and they wouldn't even think about dancing with those people who've been sitting there. But if you as a friend say, look, you know, go dance with that person, he's actually really nice, it would encourage them to step away from what they usually do and think, oh, there's other people around me. And then, you know, of course, beginners would have more people to dance with, and that would just be a beautiful circle of just a love and the right thing to do. So do the right thing, share beginners with your friends. Oh, bad way to express myself. And of course, say thank you after the dance. And those are my 5 tips how to dance with a beginner. And hopefully when all of this is over and we go back to dancing, we're gonna think about the beginners, we're gonna share some love, we're gonna treat them nice, and hopefully expand our scene, because we really need to do so, and also it is the right thing to do. Now guys, if you have any more tips where you think how it is important to dance with beginners, leave a comment below. Any comment is appreciated, and also if you have any comments of other videos you would like to see, I always make my videos based on comments, so just leave them somewhere down below and I will read them and make videos accordingly. And I hope you subscribe to my channel, because I have so much more content for you coming and already existing. And of course, ring a bell. If you ring a bell, you get notified for the video. It comes out, boom, you see it, you are the first one to watch it. Anyway, lots of love. and I shall see you soon.